The supreme task of the decadent filmmaker is to fool the audience. Is that what we are so proud of? Is that what 100 years has brought us? Illusions via which emotions can be communicated by the individual artist's free choice of trickery. As never before, the superficial action and the superficial movie are receiving all the praise. The result is barren. An illusion of pathos and an illusion of love. To Dogma 95, the movie is not illusion. Extract from the Dogma 95 manifesto. Dogma 95, hereafter referred to as Dogma, is a reaction to the decadent filmmakers of Hollywood. Through its aesthetic and formal qualities, it deviates purposefully from archetypal Hollywood cinema. This opposition itself shows profound influence. For the purpose of this essay, I will define Hollywood cinema as mainstream films funded by the Big Five companies, with their large budgets and studio control. I will explore the relationship between these films and the 36 Dogma films, discussing how, through defying typical Hollywood conventions, Dogma and Hollywood are linked. To do this, I will focus primarily on the aesthetic traits found in Hollywood movies of the 1990s, and relate these to Festen, Thomas Vinterberg, 1999. Festen is the flagship Dogma film. Receiving immediate critical praise, it was the first to be made and embodies the movement's aim to invoke truth, and aptly, it is a film about the revealing of a truth. Hollywood is huge, with considerable heterogeneity in the films produced. In this sense, attempting to isolate specific elements and referring to them as representative is difficult. Here, for the purpose of this essay, I will cite specific traits that individual films possess, which are indicative of the general trends present in Hollywood. Dogma reacts to the extremes of Hollywood, and these are the reason for the stringent nature of the Dogma rules. Dogma set 10 rules which dictate mise-en-scene, technique, and content. These rules aim to reconnect their cinema with traditional values of story, acting, and theme, and excluding the use of elaborate special effects or technology. This mission statement is significant, as the rules were designed to avoid what Dogma creators saw as Hollywood's problem of excessive glossiness and corporatization. With these rules, Dogma reacted to the idea of Hollywood and presented itself as an alternative. Hollywood, or a caricature of it, influenced the Dogma rules, which in turn dictated the mise-en-scene of Festen. Rules 1, 3, and 4 all strictly control the mise-en-scene. Their application is apparent from the beginning of the film. The open location, the shaky low-quality camera, and the long takes. Rule 1 insists upon location shooting and a lack of props. Funding from studios pays, amongst other things, for synthetic sets to be constructed on sound stages. Dogma saw this as obfuscating truth, noting that fantastical sets detract from the focus on actors and theme. Festen therefore is shot exclusively on location. The intended effect to be to force truth out of the characters and settings. This truth could not be attained if Festen used synthetic spaces. Its antithesis is a film like Titanic, James Cameron 1997. The setting in that film is the Titanic, but it was nearly shot entirely on a set that took over 100 days to construct on the Mexican coast. The film's realism suffers from the environment being almost too perfect, as much as the rose-tinted melodrama. In Festen, a real hotel was used, and the setting and the actions and the interactions seem real. Moreover, the settings build the themes without dramatic embellishment. Opulent and beautiful, the building's facade hid acts of abuse by the urbane patriarch. This is paralleled by the opulent and beautiful birthday party itself, which hides the reality of the father. The camera progressively becomes more twisted as the piece reaches its end. Our cinematic experience of the geography of the hotel is shaped by the canted architectural lines created by skewed camera angle. The film's reluctance to reveal the hotel's rooms as connected, at least in a way that's easily comprehensible to the viewer, has the effect of playing with this reality of space. The elegance of the setting helps make people and the horror of the past real and affecting, creating deeper emotional engagement and response. This is far away from the comparatively straightforward means by which Hollywood creates emotions. In the Titanic, emotion is also generated, but by falsity, the grandeur of the sets and the lushness of the music, the beauty of the actors and the sweep of the visual effects. Festen deals with truth, and Titanic in lies. Now, this is not to say that Titanic isn't good, but this is how Dogma would see this. Both work, and the dogma of Festen could not exist without Hollywood, and Titanic, its predecessors, as its existence necessitated a change which Vinterberg supplied in Festen. So, this is getting quite long. I'm going to cut this into probably 3 videos. The essay structure sounds pretty much the same, and hopefully you can flick between them if you want to try and pick a single bit of info out. Alright, sorry